Hello and welcome. Today in this video, I'm going to be talking about the evolution of New York City's sanitation procedures, but also how far they've come from 200 years ago. So life in New York City in the 1800s was not what most people think it was. Animals such as goats, horses, and hogs ran wild throughout the streets, and people had a different routine to everyday life. Immigration contributed to a lot of the population, and with it brought health problems and pandemics. Immigration also fueled more demand for housing, and as stated by NYC.gov on their historical booklet, 800 persons crowded upon 2 lots, and 6 persons lived in almost every room. Sounds pretty crowded. The streets were filled with manure from animals, dead animals, and rotting garbage. As you can guess, poorer communities were hit the hardest by these very unsanitary conditions. By 1805, the first New York City Board of Health was created. But in its early years, public health became a political concern only when disease brought the city to a standstill. In 1832, the cholera epidemic that ravaged Europe forced the board to clean the city streets. In the following years, the city's Common Council ordered water commissioners to come up with a plan for aqueducts to bring clean water to New York City, and in 1842, New York opened the Croton Aqueduct and Reservoir, which brought clean water to the city. The water was of course used for drinking, but as well as street cleaning. Eventually, health in the city was no longer controlled by its politicians, and in 1870s, William Tweed, head of Tammany Hall, created a new health department with the Board of Health that was already in place. They organized into 4 bureaus: the Bureau of Sanitary Inspection, a Bureau of Records and Inspection, a Bureau of Street Cleaning, and one of Sanitary Permits. In addition, waste coming from households were divided into 3 categories, which were food, ash, and rubbish, such as paper and other materials. A few years later, in April of 1931, New Jersey accused New York City of polluting their shores and water by dumping their garbage in the ocean as well as the Hudson River. They claimed that they have been doing this for many years, and the complaint was even taken all the way to Supreme Court. New Jersey's concern was centered around its beaches, its fishing business, and the environment. So in May of 1931, the Supreme Court ordered the city to stop its dumping and turn to incinerators and landfills as its option for waste disposal. Fast forward to the year 2000, and the New York City Department of Sanitation is proud to publish their DSNY annual report, which includes the mention of their many recycling programs, such as curbside collection, leaf and yard waste collection, special waste sites, and containerized collection, and even Christmas tree collection, with a few others to mention. The department also boasted that in the same year, it deployed mechanical brooms sweeping over 46,000 scheduled street cleaning routes. They have also used garbage cans labeled litter baskets with different colors and models to help curb street litter created by the millions of New Yorkers walking down the streets each day. Up to date, the city employs 294,000 sanitation workers and is still hiring more given the current pandemic that is affecting our world. New York City has come a long way, developing its sanitation procedures and exercising its procedures to keep the city streets clean and its overall health population related to sanitary conditions regulated. I can't wait to see what their policies and procedures will be once they open back up for business.